Hi there, Scorpio. This is Carrie at wooingnature.life. I hope you're doing well. I am doing well, and I am encouraging you to feel inspired and to feel fulfilled during the month of December. This is your December reading for 2019, moving right into January. And as we move into January, we're doing a little bit of diving around our the dualities that exist within ourselves, where we might have some inner conflict or inner conflict basically is what it is. And so we want to move away from that, but we're not going to skirt it. We're not going to try to avoid it. We're going to go through it. So December leading into January is where some of that is going to be happening, but most especially after January 1. So December is kind of a downtime for everybody. It's a time for you to just do some self-reflecting. If you haven't already done all of your cleansing, your purifying, and all of that from the fall, this is a last little opportunity for you to get that in if you need to. The universe is always abundant with its timing for us so that we can do, and we, God knows you have a busy life. So if you didn't get through it, get to it in September, October, November. You can get to it in December. That's fine, because it is a time of inactivity, meaning that there's not a whole lot that's going to be happening energetically, other than the eclipse and the moon and things like that, which are high energy things. But for the most part, we collectively are going to kind of be being still so that when those things cosmically happen, we're able to absorb the energy properly in the way that we need to without it being overwhelming. So that's what that's all about. So Scorpio, let me just see where I feel like I want to go with you all. I think I want to go um, to the Enchanted Map by Colette Baron Reid. I'm going to be reading from her first just to kind of get some direction for you. And then we'll move into the tarot if we feel like we need to. But I'm just kind of going with the flow. While I'm shuffling, I'll tell you that we are dealing with dualities in 2020, and December kind of prepares us for that mindset and that space. Those two fours break down, those two twos in 2020 breaks down into a four, which is about foundation building, getting a better foundation, establishing new foundations if that's what you need to do. A lot of us are establishing new foundations because there's been new things that have been happening for us over the course of 2019. Lots of new things happening. So you want to tap into that space. You want to tap into well, if you can do a little assessment, Scorpio, to kind of look at where you've been from the fall of last year to the fall of this year, or from November last year to November now, or December last year to December now is where we are. I'm taping this on the last day of November, so I don't know what month I'm in. But anyway, the main thing is to know that's what's going to be happening. You've already kind of started to deal with that. We collectively are dealing with kind of bringing things to the middle so that we're not so, I want to say erratic. It almost feels like these polarities are pulling us, and they keep pulling us as long as we let them pull us, or as long as we need to be pulled by them. And then at a certain point, then there's balance that has to be reached. And that's kind of the long and short of it. That's just the way the universe is. You keep stretching, then something has to come back to center. It's just like a rubber band. You can stretch it, but at some point it's going to pop back in place. And that's what we're looking for, the pop. All right, so we got Wizard of Awareness coming in. All of these are coming in reverse, so I'll be dealing with that later. But we got the Wizard of Awareness that came in while I was on the shuffle. And we've got the Golden Palace here for you, Scorpio. And we also have Rescue here. Again, all of these are in reverse, so let me just kind of deal with this for a minute. All right, so the Wizard of Awareness is just about, like your intelligence is attached to your awareness. How aware are you of your surroundings, of what's going on around you? You need to be being observant during the month of December, and that observation, that awareness, that knowledge that you're gaining is really where your wisdom is being bolstered, where your wise spirit inside of you is being fed during the month of December. by what's going on around you. So be paying attention. You need to be paying attention. The other thing I want you to pay attention to is your Aries friends, because what we found out earlier is that Aries is the seer for the month of December. So if it's something that you need to be made aware of, or it's something that you're trying to observe, or something, you may have some Aries friends out there that may have their eye on your prize. All right, and speaking of prizes, we've got the Golden Palace. Again, it's coming in reverse. So what this tells me is that you need to really be aware of what, talking about awareness, you need to be aware of what it is that you want, and what your vision is, and what your dream is. What it is, specifically what it is, what is it that you are envisioning for yourself? Because what you're envisioning for yourself is represented by the Golden Palace. See, it's kind of like in this little safety bubble, and it's kind of away from everything. There's this lush greenness, and then this the gold, so everybody wants that. Or maybe everybody doesn't, but you certainly do. And so whatever this Golden Palace represents for you, you want to be clear about it. You don't want to be in denial about it, because that's going to affect whether or not you're able to manifest that into your life, right? And you want to be about manifesting. So your awareness of what it is that you want, what it is that you desire, what is your highest good, what is your highest representation of who you are on planet Earth, what is the highest form of expression for your talent, for your energy, for your spirit on planet Earth, Scorpio, is what we're asking for. And then we got this rescue. Again, the rescue is in reverse as well, but the rescue is like you're kind of out on your own, kind of away from everything. You're trying to stand on your own, and you're trying to stand your ground, but at the same time, you really do want somebody to come and get you out of this crazy thing, right? There's a couple of things to be said about that. One, we all at some point need to be rescued. My tail probably need to be rescued right now. But there are also times when you need to not be rescued, because it means that if you're always in the point of needing to be rescued or needed to be saved or whatever, then now would probably be the time for you to not do that and try to make it through on your own. But this card always lets us know that help is always in our purview, or in our periphery, or it's around us in some way. God is not going to leave you alone by yourself to suffer or to be lost, So I'm going to say for you, Scorpio, is to, where you need help, say it. Go ahead and say it and put it out there. If it comes back to you, great. If it doesn't, keep it moving. Don't get bogged down, and don't get bogged down. Don't get bogged down by feeling like you can't, or you don't have, or you're not, you're out here on your own. It's not really so. We're always divinely guided, and we're also always divinely protected as well, Scorpio. So know that that is a part of your birthright. All right, so I am now reading from the Sun and Moon Tarot. I've got the Fool in reverse, which means for you to be, again, the Wizard. That's coming back to the Wizard of Awareness for me, because the Fool in reverse just kind of goes out there willy-nilly without thinking through a process. But you have the wisdom of your own awareness to go with you. So don't forget that as you're moving forward. It looks like there's you're going to be embarking on some new things. Lots of people are getting the Fool card in December. So you might want to cross-watch and pay attention to the other people who are having this same experience. And they may be able to kind of walk you through, or talk you through, or give you some advice on that. Of course, you can always reach out to wooingnature.life. I'm at Kerri, Kerri, at wooingnature.life if you need some advice. All right, so the universe is in reverse, kind of feeling like your world is turned upside down, and then all of these cards were turned upside down as well. But Scorpio, this is what I'm feeling like. I always feel like whether the card is in reverse or whether it's upright, the fact that the card is on the table means that it's there. It exists. It's in your cipher. It's in your It's in your realm of possibility. So this golden palace, even though it came in reverse, it means really to me that the golden palace is probably right in front of you somewhere, or the way to get to it is right in front of you. You just need to be aware of how to get to it. And that's it. Reach out, ask if you need to, but you may find that you don't need the rescue after you figure out what it is that what your highest good is, or what your highest aspiration is. And that's what it's asking you for. That's what this is asking you for. It's asking you to know what your highest aspiration is. All right, Nine of Swords. So much trouble on your mind. So much trouble on your mind. It's a lot of things on your mind. It doesn't have to be, Scorpio. Doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. You got to ask for what you want. You got to ask. You have not because you ask not. You have to ask for what it is that you want. First, you have to get in touch with what you want. Then you just have to ask it. And I think that's what this rescue card is all about. Yep, there's the Magician. The Magician came out to share his little love with you, which is you have the power to manifest anything that you want. That's what the Magician card is all about. You have all the resources and all the faculties and everything to create the paradigm that you want to exist. You can create your own world. It doesn't have to be difficult for you at all because you have what it takes. You have awareness. Awareness looks like all you need. From what I'm seeing here is that the awareness is really all you need. So this isn't hard for you at all. All you have to do is be conscious. Open your eyes and see. And Scorpio, you all know that you all have that ability. So your awareness is always keen. It's always strong. So knowing is half the battle, right? And now that you know, then you can go ahead and ask for what it is, and also ask for the help that you need if that's what you need. You may not need it. Queen of Cups is coming up for you, which is about tapping into your heart space, tapping into where you feel emotionally sated, emotionally safe, secure within yourself, feeling like you can look at yourself in the mirror and feel satisfied with what you see. That's an internal journey as well as an external journey for some of you. Some of you, it's about your physical appearance that you're not happy with. Some of you, it's coming from the inside. Always. It's really not about the physical anyway, but either way it goes, when you feel better about yourself internally, you change what your external looks like too. It goes together. It's all a representation of who you are. It's all representations of who you are. So you got to look at it from the spirit of the thing. All right, we got the Ace of Wands and Two of Cups together, which means somebody's ass is on fire. Somebody is on fire. Might be some relationship things coming through for you. It may be some things. It may be, okay, so I just want to say, just for general purposes, if this experience represents your golden palace, then go for it. If your golden palace represents something else other than a romantic situation, then this might be a distraction for you. Ooh, that's a big deal. Yeah. So if your ideal is to be in a relationship with somebody that you feel passionate about, and that's really what you want in life, and that's all you really want in life, then go for it. But if this golden palace doesn't have anything to do with this, then you might want to be mindful about that being a distraction from your goal. Scorpio. At the same time, I'm going to say, don't deny yourself. Just put it in balance. Don't deny yourself. If you want to have a good time, if you feel like being romantic, fine. But you don't want to let it cloud your ability to see what it is that you're really trying to achieve, if that's what it is. Sometimes these things can come through as a rescue, but you have to make sure that that's the rescue, right? You know, because sometimes relationships come in and they end up being a distraction. It's not a rescue at all. You're looking for the rescue, but, you know, deep down inside you want something else, and you end up drawing that to you. Nothing wrong with love. I ain't even knocking it at all, right? But just be mindful of that. Be mindful if that kind of thing kind of creeps up, or if it shows up. All right, we got the Queen of Swords in reverse. That's about handling your BI business. That's about taking off the mask. That's about being in a place of transformation and not being any kind of feeling any kind of way about it. Just knowing that that's where you are and that's what's going to happen. Right? The Queen of Swords takes care of business. There's nothing, nobody can pull wool over her eyes. Nobody can kind of, bring something to her that she isn't really clear with herself about. I'm using the her because it's the queen, but that can go for anybody, any gender. But basically, it's just somebody who is mask off. They are who they are, and you can deal with it, or you can kick rocks, kind of thing. But I'm getting it in reverse, which to me says that maybe this energy may be needed for you at this time. But again, we have it here with the Queen of Cups. There may be some feminine energy that needs to be balanced or brought to balance here. I've been getting a lot of like these reverse queens and upright queens in a lot of readings. Reverse and upright. So to me, if it's a queen and it's reverse and it's upright, one is upright and one is not. It could be women in your lives. Maybe it could be women in your lives that don't see eye to eye. But even if it is women that are in your life that you don't see eye to eye, it's really about, one, the feminine, and it might be, two, about the balancing and what that means for you personally, right? You got to look at the outside and then you reflect it. It reflects back. That's what the Queen of Cups is doing here. Your outside situation reflects back to your inner messages. It's sending you messages about your inner. And you just go in there and deal with it. That way you don't have to deal with it anymore. You don't have that flip-flopping thing going on. All right, we got the Prince of Pentacles kind of coming in sideways, so I'll look at it for what it is. So it's about charging forward, moving forward with your ideals in your hand, like with it with you, walking with you, right? That goes back to this Golden Palace thing. It's like taking your dreams and aspirations and moving forward with it, and not and moving forward with it with some force behind it. And the force is going to come when you realize that this is the position that you hold. That's when the force comes behind it. All right, anything else for Scorpios for the month of December? Anything else for Scorpio month of December? Nope, looks like that's it. You guys are free and clear. If you are in the Miami-Dade area between the 5th and the 8th, I will be down there for Art Basel. I'll be in the midst, in the crowd, giving readings, giving Reiki, doing stone medicine. If you're out there and you're hot and tired and you need a break and need to find out what the heck is going on in your universe, you can reach out to me. I am at Kerri, Kerri, at wooingnature.life. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram at Wooing Nature. If you want to book your own appointment, you can do that through Facebook. Like and follow, and then you can book your appointment on there, and we will schedule your appointment. We can schedule them in person. We can do it by phone, Skype, Hangouts, WhatsApp. Whatever works for you works for us. If you like it, we love it. Okay? All right, so if you need your personal reading, also reach out at the same spot. And I hope you have a great December, and I hope you're having a wonderful life.